All right, welcome back to the podcast. My guests today are Sam and Lauren. They are the new owners of what used to be 55 North, but now going to be called Island Brew Cafe here in Ketchikan. So welcome to the podcast and welcome to Ketchikan.
Thanks for having us, and we're happy to be here.
So any good cafe has to start with good coffee. So let me tell me a little bit about your coffee adventure, because I know you were in the Dominican Republic looking for
I was, yes. Well, we wanted to have coffee from the islands because I'm originally from England, which is a big island, and myself and Lauren worked on cruise ships for lots of years, and so we'd visit all the islands, and lots of these islands are famous for coffee. Mm-hmm. So we figured Alaska's famous for lots. Coffee probably not the most famous thing that comes from Alaska, so we'd find a good selection. So yeah, it was a big focus for us to find good coffee, and it's an ongoing project.
So what makes good coffee? Some people would just say they don't really care between like a Folgers and then something that's maybe local. So what are you looking for in a good coffee bean to make good coffee?
Well, I have milk in mine, so I'm the wrong person to ask. Lauren, however, drinks black coffee.
I drink black coffee.
Okay, yeah. You're the expert then.
It's a lot about the way the beans are roasted, but it's also where they're from and how they're grown. We recently also went to Cabo, and at the resort we stayed at, they have a coffee lab. And so we took a class about how to brew like a pro. And part of this class was going into the full flavor profile of a coffee bean. So a lot of times you'll get coffee on the mass market that tastes a little bit burnt or a little bit bitter. And that's a sign that the bean has been over roasted or it's just not fresh. So during this class, we learned even more about what defines a good coffee and what notes you want to pick up. So the coffee we've selected, that it will be here soon. It's on its way from the Dominican Republic, was some of the best coffee we've ever had because it has that full flavor profile. It's not bitter. It's organic. It's not highly acidic, and it gives you a really nice, robust flavor that if you're like me and you drink black coffee, you're going to think it's like drinking hot chocolate.
I can taste the difference too. I know I say that milk in it, but you can taste the difference.
We tested it against a lot of different beans that we've had here when we were selecting our coffee too, and every single time that bean won. So we decided that it was definitely the one we were going to go with, and that prompted Sam's trip to the Dominican Republic, and he brought back a small test batch, and we've tested it out on a few locals as well, and every single person was like, oh, this is the best cup you've brought me so far, and that was our Dominican beans that will be here.
Nice.
And what's cool is they're going to roast a custom house blend.
Oh, cool.
Just for us. It'll be similar to their like standard roast, the one that you can get in the Dominican Republic, but it will be actually just roasted just for our little coffee shop here.
Awesome. I'm not a coffee connoisseur, but...
Are you a tea man, Jeff?
No.
What's your drink of choice?
I do have tea on occasion, but I'm definitely a coffee person. I just can't tell the difference when you talk about flavor profiles. I know that I like this cup of coffee versus this cup of coffee, but I'm not educated enough to like know why that is. But I definitely like appreciate a good cup of coffee. And if I'm going to go to a place to stop by like on the way to work or to get, through the rest of the day, then I definitely want something that tastes good. And I think the acidity sometimes and the burnt thing, I definitely know what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
And it's just gross. It's not very palatable when you have something that's too bitter or something that just tastes burnt, and it's just not really worth it.
Yeah.
Like I said, a good cafe starts with a good coffee, so it sounds like you have that figured out.
Trying, hopefully. Trying our best. We're also going to get coffee eventually, probably from Jamaica. There's a brand called Blue Mountain Coffee, which is really famous, really popular. And then we're going to try other regions as well. But to start with, we'll just have one.
And then what about coffee drinks? Lattes, cortados, things like that. Are you going to have those as well, or is it going to be straight coffee?
No, we're going to have a full selection. So we'll have mochas, lattes, espresso-based drinks. Yeah, we're putting not a big menu, but a decent-sized menu together.
Yeah.
Give people some options.
What's going to be on the food menu there?
Well, we have lots of pastries, which are all baked in-house by our bakery experts, which is not me. It's Lauren and Elaine, who used to work here.
Cool.
So we kept her. She came with a coffee shop.
Yeah, no, she stayed in Ketchikan, and the Straits were incredible bakers. They had great homemade, house-made baked goods. So that was something we wanted to carry on. So Elaine and I have partnered up and come up with, a slightly different menu, but we've test baked a lot of things.
Excellent.
And
You should have been here a couple of days ago. You could have had some
quality.
cookies. Well,
Man, I should have
Yeah.
just like hung out knowing this
So-
was going to open up.
You'll see, like on the pastry menu, the cinnamon buns will be here.
perfect.
We're going to have a savory bun as well too. There's going to be coffee cake, cookies, some bars. We're going to try and throw in
Gluten-free
some-
baking?
Yep, gluten free.
On a specific day or like
No,
throughout?
no.
Whatever. The
No,
goal is to
hopefully
have
all week.
some things in the case every day that would be gluten free or allergen free. The next thing I want to try and get into the case is a vegan gluten free muffin.
Mm.
We will also have a couple options that will be gluten free or vegan for breakfast too, like a chia seed oats, or we'll have, I guess not vegan, but gluten free, also like a parfait, and then some breakfast sandwiches, breakfast burritos.
Which
Oh,
won't be
man.
gluten. Well, they could be
Those-
gluten free. It
well,
won't
they
be
could be
vegan though.
gluten-free,
We'll have a
right?
vegetarian option. We'll have a
Yeah.
breakfast burrito with sausage and bacon and eggs in.
Excellent.
Quite a
And some lunch options.
some
as
lunch
well.
options.
Yeah.
Some pretty cool sandwiches.
soup of a day we're going to have.
Good.
We're kind of borderline, a couple healthy options, but then also some of those comfort foods, those feel good foods, and things that maybe we had eaten more of or had more access to when we lived in Florida or even when we were in England, and we just haven't found kind of that hankering, like that place to find, like to hit that craving here.
Right.
So we're trying to find some things that are a little different.
Yeah, we have a couple pretty decent burger places. We've got some pizza, but what this town needs is just a really good breakfast burrito. So I'm really excited to
good.
hear.
I'm glad you said it.
Excited to hear about the breakfast burrito. And it's not that I have like all of my attention that should go to coffee goes to breakfast burritos, but man, I really love a good breakfast burrito. And I take pride in my breakfast. I'm not a breakfast burrito snob, but I definitely like breakfast burrito. So what's going to go on the breakfast burrito?
We're going to have hash browns, smoked bacon. We're going to smoke our own bacon.
Okay.
We're going to have homemade sausage and eggs.
Excellent.
What else?
Okay.
Cheese?
Some special seasoning.
Salsa.
Okay, good.
Some
Yes,
Good.
special season
Yeah.
salsa, Southwest sour cream. We're going to call it the lumberjack burrito
Oh,
because we
perfect.
promised.
Well,
our friend from the
there's a
lumberjack show-
couple team members from the Lumberjack show that highly
Okay.
requested a breakfast burrito, and we were like, okay, well, if you are requesting a breakfast burrito, what would you like to see in your breakfast
go.
burrito? You know, we can make it, but we want it to serve the community and be something that's needed and
Mhm.
wanted.
But that
and-
being said, if we'd have
So we
known you
named
a
it
couple of
after
weeks ago, we would have called it Jeff, the English teacher's
Yeah,
burrito.
perfect.
But we didn't know. I'm
The
sorry.
journalism burrito, yeah. So it sounds like you have a pretty good connection with some of the community members. So how long have you been here? Why did you choose Ketchikan? And how did you get connected with some of the community?
Yeah, that's a story. I've worked on cruise ships for the last 7 years. Lauren, that's how I met Lauren. She was training to do the same job as me on a ship. And then after we got married, I did 3 Alaska seasons. So I was here every week on carnival ships. And I used to talk to people about shopping and restaurants outside and where to get crab and souvenirs and all that type of stuff. And we always wanted to end up kind of retiring off ships and starting a business. And I used to, before this job, my background was I was a restaurant manager for 10 years. And then Lauren got offered a job in Ketchikan. So we brought the kids up. We did a road trip with a Jeep. We drove from Florida to Seattle with the kids and the dog and as many belongings as we could fit.
Mhm.
And that was it. We just
gave
turned
it
up.
a season to see if we liked it here, and we'd been looking to leave Florida. I just weren't sure where that was going to be. We'd also been looking to have some type of a cafe or a
Mhm.
restaurant. Also, wasn't sure where that was going to be because we found pretty quickly that where we were at in Florida just wasn't a great fit for our family. And after a season in Ketchikan, our kids really like it here. We
It was
like
the
it here.
bugs, to be honest with you. She says it's the kids, but it was the bugs.
Is this
The
the
bug.
bonding with the mosquitoes?
It's not the
yeah.
mosquitoes. It's these big
These
flying.
giant palmetto bugs.
Mm.
We'll
They're
use
like
the
monsters. And the snakes. There was nearly an incident one time with an alligator, which I saw, which I wasn't keen about. Just the
Oh, so
bugs.
why you left Florida,
Yes.
not what you like
Sam
about here?
really doesn't
Okay,
like
yeah.
Florida. No, we really like Ketchikan. You know, I grew up outside of Washington, D.C. in the mountains. Sam grew up in England. So the weather here doesn't bother us so much.
Mm.
We missed seasons. We like the mountains. We like to hike. We like to be outdoors. Our kids would rather run outside and,
Perfect.
you know, be cold than be hot. Like we found our youngest son is really not heat tolerant. So we found ourselves spending a lot of time inside during the summer. Like it was just unbearable in Florida. So Ketchikan has a lot to offer us where we can go outside, we can be a part of a small community. And that was another thing we really liked too, was the community nature of Ketchikan. So we got here in April. And it's been really great getting to know the community. And it's really surprised us how quickly you go from walking into Safeway and knowing no one to your shopping trip taking an extra half an hour because you bumped into 6 people that you know. So it's been really nice to just feel welcomed here.
I got here. We came in April, but I went to work on the ship for the one more Alaska season. And then I was walking past with Lauren one day and there was a sign, it said for sale in the window here. And then here we are.
Awesome.
It all came together. We'd looked at some other places. We still were pondering, okay, well, what type of restaurant are we going to open? What space is it going to be in? And we literally walked by one day and they weren't open at the time. And Sam was like, okay, well, I'm only here today. So can you please try and get in there this week? And I walked in and I met Molly and then we talked to Peter and we came back a few more times. I tried their coffee, I tried their food, and we just kept the conversation going. And it was just a really great fit for us.
I was pretty sad when they said they were going to close down.
I know. Yeah.
Because you never know.
We've got some big shoes to fill. I'll be honest. We're aware of that.
And I do say to people, they were leaving, somebody had to come in. So we're going to try our best.
Yeah. The nice thing, too, is that some people will come up, and this is kind of consistent anywhere. Anytime you have new ownership, and if you try to be what it was that left, that's not going to work out. You got to be you. You got to be whatever you love to do, and your passion has to be expressed in whatever it is that you put forth. So that's great. Looking forward, it's just going to be awesome. One of the things about the community is it's very open, very accepting, very supportive,
friendly. I've never had so many friends in the town. No one spoke to us in Florida. Well, people spoke to us in Florida, but not
we lived
here.
in the city, though. It was very different.
Which is weird because I spent a couple of years or summers in D.C. working while my brother was going to school back there. And you're surrounded by people. You don't really have the connection. Here, even though Ketchikan and Saxman and the outside laying areas equate to 1,200 or 12,000 people, 13,000 people, it still feels like it's a larger community because people they put an importance on or prioritize getting together and having good community events. You got the art walk, you got all kinds of different things.
We're going to host an artist soon.
Yeah, it's those sort of things make the community great,
host an artist night.
You become part of it. So being a part of that right off the bat is something that's pretty important. It's huge.
And our kids like it here. We've got lots of friends. The education system seems excellent here. We can find a nanny if we want to go out. We find a babysitter, which is nice to leave them at home for a night.
What's your favorite thing to do in Ketchikan outside of prepare this place for business?
We really like to go to the lakes.
Hiking.
Yep. Carolina Lake and
drinking
Ward
the
Lake
occasional
are
beer.
probably our kids' favorite places. I like to hit some of the more difficult trails, but it is harder to do with our kids being small because they're 2 and 5. So our 5-year-old is like a little spider monkey, and she could do a lot of them. But our 2-year-old is not quite ready yet.
And I've recently found my way to Fat Stands. That's nice. Lots of friends there. Yep. Trying to make the community in a networking type of way.
Yeah, that's definitely a staple.
Speaking of kids, though, I do need to go pick up our daughter from school.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll.
So I'm trusting hands of Sam.
Not so trusting.
We got the good stuff out of the way now.
now filler.
Yeah, people.
What you call it on a podcast?
People can stop listening now if they want to.
Yeah.
So, if you think about one of the main elements of having a good relationship with the community, what type of involvement do you see yourself having? You said you're going to host an artist. What are you looking forward to?
We're going to host an artist night. I also was trying to become one of the my little girl Genevieve loves soccer, so I was hoping to try and become one of her soccer coaches. Obviously, being from England, I'd say football coach, but we'd have a communication problem. You know what I mean, right? Soccer, football,
for sure.
And we had lots of ideas with, I don't know, maybe trivia nights, and Lauren's in the Chamber of Commerce. And we're trying to get around and make as many connections as we can. I'm good friends with Leslie, the colorist from next door. She is a who's who of Ketchikan. Apparently she hosts great parties. She just had a Halloween party. Did you get an invite?
I didn't go to that one, no.
There might be a Christmas one. Maybe we can go. We'll dress up as Santa's elves.
Yeah, there's so many things going on. It's pretty wild.
It's just quite nice that people invite you out, and it's quite easy to make friends here. It's just a different atmosphere to what we used to. It reminds me of being on a ship, but a huge ship, because you see the same faces all the time. There's just a little bit more freedom here. There's a lot more to do, obviously, but it's just the same type of, I don't know. I lived on a ship for 7 years, so I guess that's how I equate things. The people are friendly. It's a good place.
What about other areas of Southeast? Did you like? Was it Southeast that you kind of looked and then specifically chose Ketchikan, or was it just Ketchikan right off the bat?
Well, I think Lauren, the job she was offered, it was mainly Ketchikan, but we could have moved to Juneau. Skagway is a little bit remote for me. I like Skagway, but I can't imagine winter being so lively. There's probably 1,000 people in winter.
Yeah, pretty cold.
The weather. I mean, this I can manage, rain, because I'm from England, but Juneau, it's too much snow. Skagway too small. And Ketchikan was always my favorite port because the weather was always nice. So you've got the town's a real small, close-knit community. Everything's close by. You could walk. Like Lauren said, great hiking, great things to do. So, given a choice, we were always going to come to Ketchikan if we got to choose. Yeah. So here we are.
The nice thing about Ketchikan being so small, but also having the airport and having daily flights, so rather than just one flight, there's multiple flights, and you can conceivably go down to, if you wanted to, go down to Seattle for the weekend.
Well,
you could
it's funny you should mention that, because when I bought this place, I have a bank account with Bank of America, and they flagged me for fraud, so I had the pleasure of going to my nearest Bank of America, which they told me was in Seattle. So it was convenient that I could just hop on the plane.
Yeah,
and Ketchikan International Airport is, it's good. It's small.
It's work.
I was going to say it's huge. It's not at all. It's quick.
It's quick. It's
very
efficient.
Convenient.
And then there's the food there is a lot better than the Juneau airport. And that's coming down to like taking pride in your work. And so you go to the Juneau airport and just the food quality is not what it is in Ketchikan. So it's really nice with what they
and
run
it takes about 5 minutes to get through the airport. So you've always got time for a pre-flight beer, which I like.
That's important. Yeah, going back to what's not available here, anytime that you get on the phone with a car dealership or insurance, they have no idea how to handle it. I had a recall on my truck, and the lady said, "Yeah, just get on." Apparently, you could take the Alaska Marine Highway, drive that to Juneau, and that's where you're near.
I don't think you can.
Dealership.
That's not going to work.
No, I said, "Ma'am, the Alaska Marine Highway is water." So I know she was using Google or whatever to try to get directions, and didn't see that was water, and you'd have to take the ferry, and it just did not equate. Just way different. But
you get used to, like, for example, we've had to order a load of equipment for here, and we realized quickly you needed an AML account, and you ship it to Seattle, because you get free shipping to Seattle for lots of stuff, and then you put shipping in here, it's like $1,000.
Yeah.
But you get used to it. You get used to the fact there's no Amazon Prime, there's no Uber Eats. I don't really miss those things.
Yeah.
You kind of make do with all the things we do have here.
Yeah, there's some Amazon Prime. It's just not all the full gamut of
you don't get
everything.
it in an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have a drone dropping it off in 15 minutes. Yeah. So one of the complications of having a business in Alaska, and then especially in Ketchikan, is kind of that expense. So how do you ensure that you have good quality products and you charge enough to stay in business,
but you don't seem greedy?
Yeah. So how is that going to work?
The way we're looking at it, and it's the same, we're looking at making as much as we can ourselves, using good quality ingredients, having a smaller menu so there's no wastage,
right,
charging fair prices compared to the rest of town, but hoping that people appreciate the quality. And I feel if you're going to give somebody a breakfast burrito, for example, if it's good quality, people will appreciate the price they've paid for it. Not that it's going to cost a lot, but they're going to appreciate what you charge for it. I think it's all about the quality. We're going to bake our own bread, so make as much as we can here, and hopefully it goes down well in the community.
Yeah. I think Ketchikan is definitely a place that appreciates good quality things. And then there's whatever that boundary is that's above that, where it's like, okay, this is just more, the price is too high more than it's really quality stuff.
But what's the word I'm looking for? It's just, it's I see what you mean. It's like a tipping point, quality against cost.
Yeah. And there's people who will, I mean, just go beyond that. And it was an interesting thing during COVID, how many community members were just very helpful for the local businesses who thought, hey, this is, if we want to have this after COVID, if we want to help these people through COVID, then we got to do what we can to order out or whatever. So it's a very supportive community, and we like to have those things. And we definitely feel that things are missing if we don't have those. So that'll be fun. But what was your favorite thing to eat, like growing up, or what was your favorite breakfast or lunch?
My favorite thing from England, fish and chips, obviously, but our fish and chips is different to yours, but it's still good over here.
What's the difference?
It's just different. You get one big piece of fish in England.
Okay.
The batter's different for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it is. What else do we have growing up? The biggest thing, which I used to love growing up for breakfast, was a bacon sandwich. But we could talk about this for a while because I appreciate the bacon we have here. It's good, but it's not. We have different bacon in England. It's just different.
Well, tell me about this bacon, because I'm a huge fan of bacon.
So it's like, have you ever had Canadian bacon?
Yeah,
it's
ham.
not. It's not the same. It's different, but it's the same sort of shape. So it's like your bacon. You just get the straight long bit. I guess streaky bacon, we'd call it.
Streaky bacon. That's American bacon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our bacon, you get that bit, but it's got the round bit on the end. I think we call it back bacon.
Okay.
And it's brined differently, just completely different, and you can't get it anywhere here, which is okay. I mean, it's not, but it is what it is.
So, is there any way that you could?
No.
There's no way.
No, I'm no butcher.
Not even like a one-time special.
You know, I'd have to talk to. You never know, but let's not throw it out there because it's a big ask. I mean, I love English bacon. Do you know what else I love? Yorkshire puddings.
What's in that?
You don't know? You're not familiar.
No, I grew up Prince Wales Island and down Tucson.
Pudding. So in England, we have something called a Sunday roast, where you get, I don't know, roast beef, stuffing, parsnips, which we do get here, which is a treat. Carrots, cauliflower cheese, roast potatoes, and you have Yorkshire pudding, right? And it's like, I can't describe it to you. Well, I can. It's like a little doughy hat, I suppose, like a top hat. No, it's not. It's a Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, it just is what it is. It's a cultural difference.
It goes with a Sunday roast, which I'm going to have here at my Island Brew Cafe. We're going to do Sunday lunch at some point because I think people will try. That will be for you a full English experience with no bacon, but Yorkshire puddings.
So the highlights you'll bring over, as long as it's applicable or as long as it's doable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll have Sunday lunch because I wanted to focus. The thing I fell in love with about this place was the patio outside here. Yeah. I sat down, I had a coffee, I loved it. So I'm going to put some covers, some vinyl sheets in, so people can sit out there year round, and then we'll put some heaters out there. We'll do a Sunday lunch where you'll get more of a sit-down lunch on Sundays. We'll do brunch on Saturdays too, but Sunday lunch we'll make it as English as possible. Excellent. It's not that different. I feel like I'm setting the bar very high here.
Well, I think you have to go into it. Like if you start up with like some sort of low bar, like, hey, we're gonna have coffee, and then like maybe some stuff. Like the more specific you are, it sounds appetizing.
We have lots of ideas,
yeah.
But the Sunday lunch will definitely happen, and the Yorkshire puddings I can make from scratch are very good. We're also going to do, I said, we'll do brunch, and we'll try and have a small but mighty offering.
Nice.
Including your burrito, which I know you're a big fan of.
That's the most important thing that I'm the lumberjack burrito. I'm really excited for that, and a good cup of coffee.
Yes,
like
I can give you those two things at least, and a great pastry.
You don't have to do a lot. Just
good.
do like some
basic,
just be dependable. If I could show up and get the same quality, excellent burrito every single time,
yes,
that's how habits are made.
I agree, and I'm the same type of person. I want the same. I drink the same cup of coffee every day. I'm very much into a routine.
Yeah,
and you get to like it that way, don't you?
Yeah. Then I'll vary from it a little bit, but if I know that the burrito is really good,
it's like a mistake.
But that's happened before where I went from it, and I found something else that I like just as good. So then you have a change of pace. So if you walk in, you think, man, today's a burrito day. Next day or a week later, say, you know what? Not really feeling a burrito. I'm going to go to the plan B, which is just as good as a plan A. So I'm super happy.
Good.
No matter what mood, you're going to have it.
Hopefully we can give you a plan A and a plan B and maybe a plan C. We'll try.
but no bacon.
Bacon, yes.
No,
Amazing
the
smoke.
the amazing stripped. What was it? Lined bacon, flat bacon?
Back
What is it?
bacon.
Back bacon. Yeah.
Flat bacon.
Okay. What would you call the American stuff? What's the American
Streaky
stuff?
bacon.
Streaky
Just bacon. Let's
Streaky
not get
bacon.
confused here.
Regular bacon. Then. Yeah.
And your bacon's great. Let's not trash talk American bacon. I'm a big fan.
It
Extra
depends on.
crispy,
Yeah, I think
smoked.
there's some low quality bacon.
That's just disrespectful to the bacon world. Let's be
is.
honest here.
Yeah, I think if you go to the store and you get the pre-cooked cheap bacon,
There's
then
no excuse for that.
that's
Anybody
not
can
good.
cook bacon.
Yeah.
Also, if you get bacon and it's more fat than bacon, I
Yeah.
feel like that's an issue.
Yeah, I like the Hempler's nitrate free. You just feel like this is
Because
some
it sounds good.
meat
Yeah.
and fat from an animal. Not it doesn't have a cardboard or like lab grown quality to it.
Yeah, that concerns me. Lab grown bacon could be an
Not,
issue.
At some point, there's probably gonna be lab grown bacon.
What's your
gonna be
opinion?
sad.
Now I'll interrupt you, of course. Now we're talking about bacon.
But this is a podcast, so we can talk about it.
What's your opinion on, they sell chicken,
Mhm.
but it's not chicken. Or they sell bacon, but it's like fakin'.
Oh, like the soy based?
Yeah, like how can they call it bacon if it's not? Like, does it taste like, I don't understand. If you
I
don't
don't
eat
know.
bacon, why do you want to eat something that tastes like bacon?
I'm
I don't want
really-
to offend our vegan friends here.
Yeah.
Because, I like everyone. But
What confuses me is why, or if like a plant based meat it looks like meat. So
Well,
if you
exactly.
don't want meat,
you're going to get something that looks like meat.
but you're looking, it looks like ground meat. I don't understand the marketing thing.
I don't have cheese and like a tomato. Let's just say a tomato, but I don't have a tomato that tastes like beef. If I want a tomato, it wants to taste like the tomato. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
Or-
I don't. You could make it green and make it look like a plant, make it like you're eating a plant. But maybe there's so many other ingredients and there's so much science involved that it doesn't look like anything, and so they just chose meat because that's the closest thing that looks like. I'm not sure.
You need an
Again,
expert.
Eat whatever you want, do whatever you want. That's why we live here. But I don't understand the marketing of that, and I don't understand the why it looks like that. But it's highly processed and highly whatever.
But I will have vegan options on our menu here.
That's great.
But no faking, I'm afraid.
No faking.
No faking.
You got to be legit.
We can try.
I'm excited about this. What about the hash brown part?
The ones we like. It's not McDonald's hash browns. You make them yourself. I'm not going to get you to make them. Obviously, I'll make them for you. It's like a squashed potato with, smothered potato, you'd call it. But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. There's different. Some people go with like a large chunk of potato in there, and so it's more like a potato chunk in there rather than like a hash brown. And then there's like finely grated
That's the
hash
one.
brown.
Yes.
That's like they can get really crispy, and that's nice, and that's added to it.
That's what's going to go in your burrito.
That's good. Yeah, the chunk one is fine. Everything has its place as long as it doesn't
How do you
feel like
feel
it's a
about the
leftover.
deep fried McDonald's style hash brown?
I haven't had hash browns from McDonald's or even McDonald's for years and years.
Interesting. You don't have two small children like me, then, clearly.
I don't know. I have one small child, but she's not even eating food yet. She's
very small.
7 weeks. Yeah,
7 weeks?
Yeah, she's pretty
good
fresh.
luck with that.
pretty fresh. Yeah, thanks.
Only one?
Thanks. Only one. Yeah.
Oh, well
At this
done.
point, yeah.
I've got two.
And they like to hike, and they like McDonald's. It sounds like.
They don't eat McDonald's every day. I'm not a bad dad. That's not all I feed them. They also like vegetables, fish from Trish. They love all the stuff from there.
Good.
Crab. But occasionally they'll ask for an old McDonald's, as they say.
Yeah.
So not very often.
I had McDonald's. I grew up on Prince of Wales. Didn't have any fast food over there. There was a Burger King there for like 3 years.
We don't have Burger King here, but we have Burger Queen, right?
Yeah, we have Burger
No
Queen.
relation, I presume.
Yeah. So every time we came over here,
It's very good. I tried Burger Queen.
exceptional, really good burgers. So every time we came over here for basketball or for any other sport, we'd go to McDonald's like first thing because it was the novelty. Go there and I get the Egg McMuffin, and then
You see, an
Big
Egg
Mac.
McMuffin, sorry, again, cultural differences. An Egg McMuffin for me is egg and bacon. But an Egg McMuffin over here is egg and this lump of something which they call ham.
Canadian bacon,
Yeah.
but it's like a slice of ham, and then it's a low quality English muffin, low quality egg, low quality Canadian bacon. But when you're a kid, when you're in middle school, when you're in high school, it's so good. You have 2 of those and you're good to go because your body's resilient and it doesn't reject it. But now you have too much of that, too many days in a row, and all of a sudden you're having some trouble with the internal apparatus.
Agreed.
It's not very good. Another nice thing about living here is the opportunity to eat very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
You got sea asparagus, you got berries, you got game meat, you got fish, you got all kinds of opportunities to eat. Have you gotten into doing some fishing or hunting or foraging?
Genevieve went out to pick berries all summer. She's a big fan of, she's got a special spot where she picks salmon berries from. So the kids went into that when I was on my ship. I would love to go hunting. I love to hike. Fishing is I'm a big fan. The kids want to go fishing too. Just leaving the ship in the middle of September and opening up here. We haven't had so much time, but when everything's settled, especially next summer, we'll go spend a lot of time outside. Need to do some fishing, get out on a boat would be nice.
Yeah.
I actually bought myself from the knife work store in Juneau, the Alaskan made knives, a special filleting knife.
Perfect.
Which is still in the box until I catch the salmon.
Well, you need your fish first, yeah.
So it's going to stay in the box out of principle. I told Lauren that I was going to catch a fish and fillet it, and she laughed at me.
Oh.
She said, no, you won't. So I will. We'll see.
You will. Yeah, you'll get there.
Try.
Well, it would be shocking if a couple seasons went by and you hadn't caught one yet. We'd start to wonder,
what's wrong with this guy?
You might be working too hard. That might be the thing. If you say, hey, I'm putting all my time and effort into the burritos, I'd say, all right, that makes sense. I might bring a fish by that you can fillet, even though you didn't catch it. That would be kind of...
No, I'll find some time.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's good.
I also like the fact, sorry, again, I interrupted you. I also like the fact we have a selection of salmon here. Where I'm from in England, we just have farmed Atlantic salmon, which is just salmon. And then you come here and you instinctively and instantly become a salmon snob, as I say I am, because it tastes completely different. It's the best salmon I've ever had.
Taking pride in your fish. It just once you know the farmed fish that are fed that and they swim in these huge net pens, it's not healthy. It's not all that different from some of the bad conditions that you get with chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's like a dead zone underneath these huge nets where you have scales falling off and you have fish with lesions and it's just horribly unhealthy. And there's some documentaries that have been done about the fish farms and Atlantic salmon.
It just doesn't sound good. I mean, you come over here and you look at the actual piece of salmon and it's completely different.
Yeah. And it costs more and you start to realize this is why it costs more, because it's good.
Oh, it's
and
amazing.
It's worth it.
My kids would eat salmon every day.
Yeah. It's super healthy and it doesn't have a fishy smell. It smells like cold salt water and maybe a little bit of fish. It doesn't have that. You're in Iowa at a Safeway and you open the door and you can smell the fish department. That's not what you're looking for. Horrible.
There you go.
So what else should we know about you two, the business, the family, what's some interesting insight?
Interesting insight into me and my family. Well, I'm obviously from England, as we've established. I spent the last 7 years working on cruise ships and got 2 kids, Genevieve and Arthur. They go, obviously, after school every day here. And we like to think we're quite friendly, trying to be part of a community. Yeah, we're just a regular family, really. No more kids, for sure. 2's enough. You just have 1?
Just 1. Yeah.
Are you going to cap it at 1?
At this point? Well, we'll see. I mean, there are some mornings.
Says a man who's already committed to number 2.
So some mornings we wake up and think, you know what, this first one, Haley, is so great. You know, we think about another one.
How old is she?
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Yeah. and then other days we
give
think,
it a few months.
This is. There's no way. Like, there's no way that we can double this.
So she's sleeping most of the time now.
Yeah, she's doing a pretty good job.
So it's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, it's nice at early age.
Yeah.
Just drinking milk. Can't talk back.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
Before we commit to any decision either way, we want to see this through for the first year or so.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
I think 2 is a good number, but 2's enough.
Yeah, we'll see. But
pets? Do you have any pets, Jeff? Do you like animals? I've got a dog, 2 cats.
I do like animals. I like when my friends have animals. That way I don't have to have the responsibility.
Yourself?
No, we don't have anything.
For the child.
We like to go
all or nothing.
Traveling, camping, hiking, go out in the boat and stuff like that. So
do you own a boat?
Well, we got a little skiff.
Here in Ketchikan?
Yeah.
So when can we go fishing?
Yeah. Well, when the fish are back,
we could maybe do a podcast on the water.
We could break in your fillet knife.
Do a regular thing.
Yeah, hopefully. But you add a dog to that, it just ends up complicating things. So it's not that we're not dog people. Like, we like dogs, we believe in dogs, but we just don't want to have them at this point. So
fair enough.
It is.
We have a dog, and we have to. The only reason we have 2 cats actually is because where we live, we heard a meowing under the house, and there was 2 abandoned kittens.
So they adopted you.
Well, we had no choice. I mean, I've got 2 small kids. You can't put a kitten in a house with 2 small kids and take it away, can you? So Lauren called me up and she said, look, there's these 2 cats. Can we have one of them? And I gave in and said, yes, because you always do. And then I got back off the ship and there was 2 cats. So, and obviously, who am I to say no?
Yep, there you go. There you go. So in closing here, when are you opening?
What day is it today in the podcast world?
Today is Wednesday.
Friday.
Okay.
We're getting there. Look, as you can see, place looks nice, right?
Yeah, looks great. It's got new paint job. You got some pillows, got some blankets.
I mean, it's ready to go.
It's pretty much. Yeah.
It's guest ready. We're going to open Friday.
Perfect.
For 10 days until it's Thanksgiving soon.
Okay.
So, because it could be the last time we get away in a while, we're taking the kids to Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh, cool.
We're not taking the dog. He's staying here.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's coming over to check on him.
Cats?
Don't worry. No, absolutely not. They stay here too. We've hired a pet sitter.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have asked you. Now we're friends.
Yeah, now that we're friends, now you start asking.
You probably would have been cheaper too, but it's okay.
No, I got the kid. We got the perfect. Sorry, can't. Got the kid.
That's an excuse. Yeah, I can't, mate. Gotta go with kid. So we're going to open for 10 days until the 25th. And then we're going to open Thursday to Monday every week, 7 a.m., maybe a little bit before, 7 a.m. officially, until 2:15-ish. Breakfast, lunch, coffees, and then we'll probably do something special for Christmas, maybe some Christmas cookies if people want to order them, and special treats for Christmas. We'll have a seasonal menu, so things will change. We actually have a great special. Now you've asked, which you didn't, but you did. We're going to have a special from a few days after we open, which is a special turkey Christmas sandwich with homemade cranberry sauce and stuffing and house roasted turkey. So we'll see how it turns out.
Excellent.
Homemade bread. We'll try. It's all we could do.
Yeah.
Hope the community can give us a chance, because obviously opening a new business, we don't expect everything to be perfect from day one. But I think it's one of those things. We could have sat here for another month repainting the wall for the 5th time. But at some point, you really got to open.
Yeah.
So here we are.
If your coffee's good, then that's the perfect start.
And we'll be open when we say we'll be here. I'll be here. Come and say hi.
Perfect.
My little girl Genevieve, she's a bit young to work because she's 5, obviously, but I'm sure she'll spend lots of time here. The kids will probably come in for breakfast every day. I mean, I would. I don't blame them. I'm going to see you for your burrito.
Yeah, absolutely.
Monday to Friday, apparently.
I will be here. Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's great to meet you. Really excited for this thing to open. And,
thanks for having me.
Thanks again.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Podcast world. I like it. I'll have to listen to your other ones now. I realize you're a good guy.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe do a recap after a couple months and whatnot.
Well, I've lost all my hair.
I don't know if it's going to be that stressful, right?
It's going to be fine. That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah, it should be fine. Well, let's not talk about the worst that can happen.
The building got broken into the other night, but hey, we won't talk about that now. That's probably the worst that can happen.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Cool.